Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Thanks for joining me. You might be wondering, why do I have all my camera gear in front of me here? Am I going to do a gear review? No, I'm going on holidays tomorrow with my family. A much needed holiday. Last year was nearly a write-off because I had heart surgery, so we've been planning this holiday for quite a while. I live in Brisbane in southeast Queensland in Australia, and we're going up to Cairns and then up to Cape Tribulation in the Cape York. We're really looking forward to having a nice time as a family, but I'm also hoping to get some really nice photos while we're up there. My dilemma as a photographer is, what do I take? Do I just take everything, or do I leave some things behind? Like I stated, this is a family holiday. I've got to prioritize my family. As a photographer though, there's some things that I'd like to take, but reality sets in and I know that some of this gear has got to stay. One, not just because I mightn't think I'll use it enough, but two, we're flying, so we have weight restrictions. Carry-on luggage is 7 kilos on the planes we're taking. Checked-in luggage is 20 kilos. So check-in luggage is not a problem for me. I don't take much clothes, so I could put a lot of the stuff in checked luggage, but I don't like taking camera gear in checked luggage. I've had bad experiences in the past, so my camera gear I want to take with me. So 7 kilos isn't that much, especially when you count a backpack. So I have two backpacks. I have my low pro backpack here, 2.6 kilos. I have my hiking backpack here, 1.1 kilos. Yes, there is big differences. One is specifically designed to carry camera gear, but I'm not going to take all of this. And like I said, weight restrictions, 7 kilos. So 2.6 kilos just for the backpack means that a third of my weight is taken up just in the backpack. Yes, it will keep everything secure, but I think that my hiking backpack will be enough. But right at the end, we'll come back to the hiking backpack and what I feel that it will be good for me. But first, let's look at lenses. What lenses am I going to take? Because it's great to take cameras, but lenses are the priority, really. Like, what focal length are we going to need? Let's start with my Tachyna lens here, the 11 to 20. Now, it's great for astro, for waterfall photography. We're getting 3/4 away to the full moon. There won't be any astro photography up there, even though we're going to have beautiful dark skies. The moon is going to be shining bright. Also, we're at the end of the dry season. The waterfalls are hardly flowing. I don't think that I'm going to use this lens. So everything that I don't use, I'll just put away. So really, this lens I can just put away right now. Now, let's talk about the Nikon 18 to 140. It's a great travel lens. I use it all the time. Some people bag it, but if you know how to use this lens, you'll get great photos. Let's talk about this lens here, the beast. Nikon 200 to 500 f5.6 lens. 90% of my wildlife photography is done with this lens. Takes great photos, but 2.6 kilos, very heavy. And my reality sets in, reality check. How often am I going to use this lens on the holiday? Reality is we're booked in for a 4-hour wildlife photography trip up the Daintree River on Saturday or Sunday, I think. Just 4 hours, and this is the only time that I think that I'm going to use this lens. Is it worth taking this lens? I'd love to, but I know that priorities, when I look at everything, I don't think that I will take it. I know actually after doing all the weight checks that I'm not going to take it, because just yesterday, now we're leaving tomorrow, but yesterday I was able to ring up. We had a conversation with the tour guide that's looking after us on the Daintree River cruise. Now, this is a private cruise we're booking. It's around $350, nearly $400 for 2 hours. But it's just my wife, my daughter, and myself, and the tour guide in a very small boat with an electric motor. He's going to take it up the main Daintree River, and then we're going to go into some of the estuaries, so we'll be able to get very close to wildlife, crocodiles, kingfishers, birds, and all that. And I told him my dilemma: this lens or my 70 to 300. And he said, you know, if you're really after the kingfishers, you're going to need the 200 to 500. But if you're willing to absorb and cropping it a bit, he said, I think that the 70 to 300 is going to suit you down fine. So I'm not going to take this lens because it's a lot of weight just for a couple of hours. It's not a photographic holiday. So we'll put this lens down here. Now, why would I risk, especially going up like that, and I know that I'm going to get the chances of photographing very nice wildlife, birds, marsupials, whatever. My wife really hopes to get some photos of the cassowaries up there. I've just done a review, wildlife review, on the 70-300 here. It isn't up on my YouTube channel yet. It'll be up in a couple of weeks' time, I think. But it is great. Now this is the f4.5 to f6.3 version. Most of the photos that I took for the wildlife review was taken at f6.3, and they are sharp. If you're thinking about this lens, don't listen to the naysayers on YouTube or reviews that say that this is a junk lens. Yes, it's all plasticky, it's very light, but it is one of the best 70-300 lenses that you can get. It is great. So I'm going to take these two lenses. This is all I need. The 18-140 will be fixed on the camera during the whole day, and if I'm seeing some wildlife about, this will just be in my backpack and I can easily put it on. I've got two cameras, my Nikon D500 and the Nikon D90. It's great to have a backup camera when you go away, especially for a photographic holiday, but the D500's never let me down. So the D90 is staying home. No need for it. Now, I've got just one camera, two lenses, my drone, definitely taking the drone, because when I'm up at the Daintree, we're staying in Cape Tribulation. We've got a chalet only about 20 meters from the beach. I plan to take quite a lot of video around sunrise and sunset, or even during the daytime in that area. I should get some nice video. So my drone, the two batteries, that's around 800 grams. With the bag that it comes in, totals out to 1 kilo. So it's going to come with me. Filters. Every photographer needs filters. My filter kit here, 800 grams, nearly 1 kilo. How often am I going to use filters? I'd like to shoot a couple of long exposures, or if around sunset or sunrise, or even in the creeks up there where the water's just flowing over the rocks, really bring the exposures down, have about 15-20 seconds, maybe even longer, get some really nice exposures. But I need filters. But do I need everything? Do I need the 15 stop, the 10 stop, the 6 stop, the 3 stop medium grad, the 2 stop grad, the 3 stop reverse grad? Do I need all of this? No, I don't. When I was in Thailand many years ago, I never had filters apart from a polarizer. Most of the time when I've gone on holidays with my family, I don't take this. What do I take? This here. I take a polarizing filter. Definitely so light. A polarizer for daytime photography really adds to your photos. So a polarizer I'm definitely taking. The other filter that I'm taking in this one here, it is the K&F Concept Filter Variable ND Filter from 2 stop to 10 stop. Now I did a review on it and I'll put the link up here now, and I didn't like it when I used it on the Takina 11-20, because when I got to 6 stop I got the dreaded X across the screen and the photos were unusable. But I'm not using it on the Takina. I've tried it on my Nikon 18-140, and at 18 mils I don't get the X factor until close to 9 stops. I won't be going anywhere near that. So I'll be taking it, and all I need to go from 82 mils, because it's an 82 mil filter, is the step ring from 67 to 82. So this is what I'm taking. 2 filters, and this will do me fine and will give me the photos that I want. And that's important, the photos that I want. I'm not compromising. See, I could take all this and get very similar photos to this. So why take all of this? Because all of my filters in here are glass filters. I can't just put them into a small bag. I'd break them. They would have to be in here. This is why I'm just taking that and leaving this here. So I'll put this down. If I wasn't going to do any long exposures, I wouldn't need a tripod. I've learned from the past that sometimes I haven't taken the tripod and I've regretted it. So I'm definitely taking a tripod. Now tripods, as you can see, I've got 2 tripods here. My Vanguard tripod, this is my everyday tripod with the Leo Photo bald head. Doesn't let me down. It's great. I've got my newer tripod here, the professional tripod. Yeah, it's a laugh. That's why it was sold as professional tripod. This is what I do all my YouTube videos on. It holds my little Sony ZV-1, which is in for repairs at the moment. It's great, but it's a little bit flimsy. This is where weight restrictions sort of go out the window for me, because I could take this tripod. I've done a review on it, has a budget tripod, and it's great. But for long exposures, I would be a little bit concerned, especially if I put the tripod in the water and I've got flowing water around there. It's very light. It's half the weight as my Vanguard tripod here, and this is one time where weight is going to override my choice. Most people would say, well, you're weight restricted, grab this tripod. For a tripod, I'm going to sacrifice weight. I'm going to say, I'm going to accept an extra 500 grams and take this tripod here, because I know that I would be kicking myself if I did a long exposure at sunset or at sunrise and the tripod was in the creek. Because of the water, the tripod moved a bit and my photo was ruined. That would really frustrate me. So I'm going to leave this one at home, and I'm going to take this tripod here. So this is the gear that I'm going to take. That's the tripod we're taking, camera. Now the last thing is a timer remote. Now this is so light that I'd be silly not to take it with me. Less than 100 grams. If I want to do long exposures, I'm definitely going to need it. Also, I'm thinking of doing a couple of time lapse, whether they're at night or whether they're during the day or at twilight and all that. I'm thinking of doing time lapses, and if I'm going to do time lapses, I'm going to need the timer. So it's going to come with me. Now, all this gear, I've got 2 backpacks. Like I said, my choice is to go with just my normal hiking backpack, but my gear could get damaged, especially the lenses. How am I going to safeguard my lenses in my backpack? This is what I'm going to use. A sock. You might laugh. These are woolen hiking socks. Many years ago when I lived in Thailand, I didn't own a camera backpack. I only had my Nikon D80 and 2 lenses, and I found the easiest way to safeguard my lenses when they were in my backpack was with woolen socks. And they're so safe to use. All you do is put them in here, like so. Now, that's only 1 coat, but what I normally do is give it a twist. There, 2 layers of wool around the lens. Nothing's happening to this lens. Remember, it's in my backpack. You take care of your gear. It's not like I'm going to throw it in the backpack, throw my backpack around. I'm going to take care of my gear. So this, in my backpack, isn't going to get damaged. So the 2 lenses are going to be packed like this. What about my camera? I don't have a lens stored on my camera when I'm taking it in a backpack. It's a disaster waiting to happen. The lens could easily get knocked. You could break the lens on the mount here. What I do is I carry an old woolen beanie again, and I keep my camera in the woolen beanie. Wool is a very good insulator. It'll keep my camera safe. So this is all the gear that I'm taking. So how much does all this gear weigh? 5 kilos. It gives me 2 kilos spare that I can put some clothes or whatever I want in there. A torch, whatever. 2 kilos of spare weight. In closing, I hope this has given you an idea of how I choose the gear when I go on holiday, especially a family holiday. But I don't sacrifice on the gear that I take. I'm not talking about leaving my 200 to 500 as a sacrifice. That's just a reality check. But I'm still taking all the gear that I need to take quality photos. Now for memory cards, I have 3 SD cards. 2 are SanDisk Extreme Pro 128 gigabytes, and the third one is another SanDisk Extreme Pro 64 gigabyte. That gives me heaps of photos to take, something like about 2,000 photos. I know I won't get to 2,000 photos on this trip. So now you can see why I've chosen the gear that I've chosen to go on this holiday. If you don't agree with it, leave it in the comment box below. If you found value in this video, give me a thumbs up. Stay safe, enjoy photography, and I'll see you next time.